A client came to us with one ask: double my leads. Not 10x, just double them. And 3 months into the project, he called us and said that the lead volume has gone up significantly. And then he said something that stopped me completely. He said that one of those leads called him and told him that he found them on ChatGPT, not Google, ChatGPT. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what we did to take a well established UK renewable energy platform from wanting to double their leads to getting nearly 10 times more in 120 days, and how one of those leads came directly from AI search. Let's get into it. Let me give you a full picture first. Renewable Energy Hub UK is one of the UK's leading renewable energy platforms. They help homeowners and businesses find trusted installers, compare renewable energy solutions, explore government grants, and make informed energy decisions. Solar panel costs, EV charging, heat pumps, installer comparisons, ROI calculators, high intent commercial territory. These are not people browsing, these are people ready to spend money. When they came to us, the platform was not struggling with traffic. They had an established online presence. They had search visibility. The problem was conversion. Users were landing on the site, reading the content, and leaving without taking any action. Code requests were not where they needed. Installer searches were underperforming. Contact submissions were inconsistent. The traffic was there, the intent was there, but the system between the traffic and the lead was leaking somewhere. And here is the part most agencies miss completely. The problem was not that they needed more visitors, the problem was that the visitors they already had were not taking any action, were not being guided properly to the point of taking any action. More traffic into a broken conversion system means more wasted opportunity. So that's where we started. Not with more content, not with more keywords, but with understanding exactly where the system was breaking. So here is the six-part system that we built. The audit. Before we touched a single page, we audited everything: content ecosystem, commercial landing pages, internal linking structures, conversion pathways, everything. We were looking for four things. Where was the high intent traffic landing? Where were users dropping off before converting? Which pages had the potential to convert but were not? And where the topical gaps were letting competitors capture the demand that we should have owned. The audit told us three things clearly. The high intent pages were not aligned with how decision stage users actually search. The conversion journeys had friction points and that were breaking user flow before they reached the code request. And the site had almost no GEO layer, meaning it was completely invisible across ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, and Perplexity. In 2026, for a platform operating in a research heavy buying category, the last point is not a minor gap. That is a significant portion of the research journey, where the brand simply did not exist. Second, revamping high intent conversion. The first thing that we fixed was the pages that were supposed to generate leads but were not doing the job. Code request pathways, installer search pages, homepage engagement flows, commercial service pages, CTA placement, and content hierarchy. Every one of these pages had the same problem. They were built to rank, they were not built to convert. There is a difference between a page that gets a visitor to the site and a page that gets a visitor to take action. Most agencies optimize for the first one. We optimized it for both. The rewrites were not cosmetic. We restructured the content hierarchy so that the most decision relevant information appeared where users were actually looking for it, not buried under three scrolls. We moved CTAs to sit immediately after the sections where buying intent peaks, and we reduced the friction in the paths between the landing and converting. Third, topical clusters for commercial search intent. The second thing we built was depth around the topic that attract decision stage users, solar panel cost searches, renewable energy grants, solar ROI calculators, EV charging content, heat pump information queries, installer comparison searches. These are not informational topics. These are buying topics. Someone searching solar panel cost UK is not curious. They are pricing a purchase. Someone searching a renewable energy grants available is not researching. They are looking for a reason to commit. We build content clusters around every one of these topics. Pillar pages supported by tightly scoped supporting articles. So that when a decision stage user entered any of these queries, they landed on a page built specifically for where they were in the buying journey. This is a topical authority built around a commercial, not broad coverage, deep, specific conversion focused pathways in exactly the categories that drives the leads. 4. GEO optimization for AI search. This is the part I want to spend the most time on because it was something that happened that none of us could have scripted. We implemented GEO, generative engine optimization, across the site. This means structuring the content so that the AI systems like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, and Perplexity can read it, trust it, and cite the brand when users ask relevant questions. For a renewable energy platform in the UK, the queries being asked in the AI search look like this. What is the best renewable energy installer comparison site in the UK? Where can I find government grants for solar panels? How do I calculate ROI on solar panels before buying? These are the real questions real buyers are asking AI systems. Before we implemented GEO, Renewable Energy Hub did not exist in any of those answers. After implementation, they did. And here is the moment that validated everything. In one of our review calls with the client, he told us something. He said that one of his recent leads had called him and mentioned that I found you on ChatGPT. Let me be clear about what that means. A real buyer with a real intent to spend money on renewable energy went to ChatGPT, asked the question, got an answer that cited renewable energy, clicked through, filled a code request form, and he called the client. That is the full journey from AI search to lead to phone call in one buying session. That is not a coincidence. That is GEO working exactly as it is supposed to work. The fifth thing we built was a strong internal linking architecture. This sounds a little bit technical. The practical effect is simple. A user lands on a solar panel cost page, they are in the research. The internal linkings on that page guide them naturally towards the installer comparison page. From the installer comparison page, they move naturally towards the code request form. With strong internal linking, journey that is fragmented, the user has to work to find the next step, and buyers who have to work do not convert. With strong internal linking structure, the journey feels natural. Every page leads somewhere useful, and the user progresses towards the conversion without any friction. We map everything, every high content cluster to the commercial pages it should be feeding, and build the link architecture to make that flow automatic. Six, homepage UX and conversion optimization. The final piece was the homepage, navigation clarity, conversion accessibility, and engagement flow. The homepage is often the most neglected page in an SEO strategy because it does not rank for commercial keywords directly, but it is the page most users land on from brand searches and direct traffic. And it is frequently the page that makes or breaks whether a user trusts the brand enough to take the next step. We optimize the home page to make the most important conversion actions impossible to miss: quote requests, contact interaction, installer searches. These changes were structural, not personal, and they contributed directly to the engagement improvement we saw across the campaign. 120 days, here is what happened: 63% increase in organic clicks, 39% increase in search impressions, and 1,822 form interaction sessions. These are post request forms, real buyers, real intent, and real submissions. 21% increase in high intent lead actions. AI search visibility across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, Gemini. Average engagement time of 42 seconds per session. and 4.68 events per session. Users were not just landing and leaving, they were actively engaging with the commercial content and moving toward the conversion. And the client who came to us asking to double their leads told us in our last review call that the inflow had gone up 7 to 12 times compared to before we started. He did not ask us for a 10x, but he asked for 2x. The gap between what he expected and what actually happened is the result of building the right, not just adding more content. Here is what this taught us and what it should tell you. The brands that will win in search over the next 2 years are not the ones publishing the most content. They are not the ones with the most backlinks. They are the ones who understand that SEO is not traffic channel anymore. It is a lead generation system. And that system has to work across Google, across AI search platforms, and across the conversion journey all at the same time. Renewable Energy Hub UK did not get these results because they had a bigger budget. They got these results because every part of the system was built to move the right user towards the right action at the right moment. This is what SEO looks like when it is done properly in 2026. If you are running a B2B platform or a SaaS company or any business where leads matter more than traffic, here is what I want you to take from this. Your problem is not that you are not ranking. Your problem is not that you do not have enough content. Your problem is most likely that the system between your search, visibility, and your leads is broken in one or more of the places. We fixed for Renewable Energy Hub, and the good news is every one of those things is fixable, usually faster than you think. If you want us to look at your site and tell you specifically where your lead pipeline is leaking, click the link in the bio or check the description. We will run the same audit we ran for Renewable Energy Hub and we will tell you exactly what to fix first. Link in the description. See you in the next one. Let's make your brand impossible to ignore.